Have you ever wondered, what is the meaning of life? Such a question, profound and timeless, lies at the heart of philosophy. This age-old discipline, a quest for wisdom, is not just about ancient texts and abstract concepts. It's a vibrant part of our everyday lives, helping us navigate the complex labyrinth of existence. Philosophy shapes our thoughts, our actions, our very perception of reality. Today we will explore 8 of the greatest philosophical theories that continue to shape our understanding of the world. Imagine a world of ideal forms, where everything we see is but a shadow of its perfect self. Enter Plato's theory of forms, a cornerstone of Western philosophy. This theory, birthed in the bustling city of Athens over 2,000 years ago, suggests that beyond our physical realm lies an ideal realm, a world of perfect, unchanging forms. Now, what are these forms, you ask? Think of them as the blueprints, the perfect templates of everything we see, touch and experience in our physical world. Take a chair, for instance. Every chair you've ever sat on, from the plush recliner in your living room to the creaky stool at the local pub, are mere imperfect imitations of the ideal form of the chair in the ideal realm. And it's not just tangible objects. Love, justice, beauty, goodness. Plato argued that these too have their ideal forms. The love we experience, the justice we seek, the beauty we perceive, they are all shadows, echoes of their perfect counterparts in the ideal realm. This theory fundamentally changes how we perceive knowledge. Instead of seeing knowledge as a collection of facts and figures, Plato suggests that it is, in essence, a recognition of these ideal forms. It's a journey of the soul, a quest to understand and connect with these perfect forms. In Plato's view, our quest for knowledge is a journey towards these ideal forms. What does it mean to be a good person? This question leads us directly to Aristotle and his virtue ethics. Aristotle posited that the key to moral virtue isn't about strictly adhering to a set of rules or achieving a fixed ideal. Instead, it's about navigating a middle course between extremes, a concept he referred to as the golden mean. Let's take courage, for example. On one end of the spectrum, there's recklessness, and on the other, there's cowardice. The virtuous person, according to Aristotle, steers a course between these two, embodying courage without veering into foolhardiness or timidity. This approach, Aristotle believed, leads to eudaimonia, often translated as flourishing or the good life. It's not about momentary happiness, but a deep, lasting fulfillment that comes from living a life of virtue. So the next time you're faced with a moral dilemma, remember Aristotle's golden mean. For Aristotle, the virtuous person is one who finds the golden mean. I think, therefore I am. These immortal words of the French philosopher René Descartes encapsulate his concept of dualism, a theory that has intrigued and puzzled thinkers for centuries. Descartes' dualism posits a clear and distinct separation between the mind and the body. In this framework, the mind is a non-physical and self-aware entity, capable of thought and consciousness. The body, on the other hand, is a physical entity, governed by the laws of physics and incapable of thought. Descartes believed that these two entities interact and influence each other, yet remain fundamentally different. This belief challenges traditional notions of identity and raises intriguing questions about the nature of consciousness and physical existence. Despite its critics, Descartes' dualism has had a profound impact on philosophy, psychology, and neuroscience, pushing us to constantly question and explore the relationship between our minds and our bodies. Descartes' dualism invites us to consider the nature of consciousness and physical existence. What if the rightness of an action is determined not by its outcome, but by its underlying principle? This thought-provoking question sets the stage for our exploration of Immanuel Kant's deontological ethics. Kant, a luminary of the Enlightenment period, proposed a radical shift in ethical thinking. He argued that morality isn't contingent on the outcomes of our actions, but rather it's guided by our sense of moral duty. In this framework, an action is morally right if it aligns with a moral rule or principle, regardless of its consequences. For example, telling the truth is always morally right, even if it leads to undesirable outcomes. This is a stark contrast to consequentialist theories, which judge actions based on their results. But for Kant, the moral law is universal and absolute. It's not subject to change based on circumstances or outcomes. His insights challenge us to rethink our understanding of morality. Kant leaves us with the notion that morality is not about consequences, but about doing what is inherently right. What drives us to strive, to achieve, to overcome? This question lies at the heart of Friedrich Nietzsche's concept of the will to power, a postulation that the driving force behind human behavior is ambition and achievement. The will to power is not just a mere desire for survival, but rather a thirst for mastery. Nietzsche believed that every individual has a fundamental impulse to exert their power, to dominate and to shape their own world. This drive, he argued, is more integral to our being than any other motivation. The will to power is the engine that fuels our actions, shaping our choices and our pursuits. From the simplest tasks to the most profound philosophical inquiries, each action we take, every decision we make, is a manifestation of this powerful, driving force. We're not merely passive beings, but active agents, constantly exerting our will upon the world. In Nietzsche's view, our will to power shapes our actions and defines our lives. Imagine a world where you are entirely free to create your own essence. Welcome to the realm of Sartre's Existentialism, a philosophy rooted in the principle that existence precedes essence. This means that you as an individual exist first before any predefined concepts or categories can be applied to you. It's like being a blank canvas upon which you have the freedom to paint any picture you choose. But with this freedom comes an immense responsibility, because now you can't hide behind societal norms or expectations. You are the master of your destiny, the author of your story. Sartre's existentialism is a call to arms. It's a challenge to rise above passivity and take ownership of our choices. It throws light on our individual freedom, underscoring that we are not just products of our environments, but active participants shaping our own lives. But beware, the freedom Sartre speaks of is not without its perils. It can be quite daunting to acknowledge that we are solely responsible for our actions and their consequences, yet it's also liberating. It allows us to break free from the shackles of society's expectations and carve out our own path. And remember, Sartre's existentialism is not a license for reckless abandon. It's an encouragement to live authentically, to make choices that reflect who we truly are, not who society wants us to be. Sartre challenges us to accept our freedom and create our own meaning in life. What would a just society look like? This is a question that has intrigued philosophers for centuries, and one that John Rawls sought to answer with his theory of justice. Rawls, a prominent figure in 20th century political philosophy, devised a theoretical framework that calls for a society where the least advantaged stand to benefit the most. Rawls's theory centers on two principles. The first, the principle of equal liberty, asserts that each person has an equal right to the most extensive basic liberty, compatible with similar liberty for others. This means that freedoms such as freedom of speech, assembly and conscience should be equally accessible to all, regardless of their social or economic status. The second principle, known as the difference principle, proposes that social and economic inequalities should be arranged so that they are both reasonably expected to benefit everyone and attached to positions and offices open to all. In essence, Rawls' vision of justice is one where the welfare of the least advantaged is paramount. Rawls' theory is a thought-provoking exploration of justice, offering a unique perspective on societal organisation. It challenges us to think about how we can create a society where the least advantaged are not left behind, but rather stand to gain the most from its structure and organisation. Rawls invites us to envision a society where justice is truly for all. These theories have shaped the course of human thought and continue to influence our world today. From Plato's theory of forms, which posits the existence of perfect, unchangeable ideas, to Aristotle's virtue ethics, emphasizing the importance of moral character, we see how philosophy has sculpted our understanding of reality. Moving forward, we encounter Descartes' dualism, challenging us to question the relation between mind and body, followed by Kant's deontological ethics, asserting the inherent value of moral duty. Nietzsche's will to power then stirs us, pushing us to seize control of our destinies, while Sartre's existentialism reminds us of our freedom and responsibility in shaping our own lives. Finally, Rawls's theory of justice brings us back to the societal level, advocating for fairness and equality as fundamental principles of justice. Each of these theories in its own unique way, offers us a lens through which to view and interpret the world. Through philosophy, we can better comprehend our existence and navigate the complexities of life.